Hello, everyone. My name is Amber,
And I'm Lucy.
and today we are here with another episode of Let's Travel Vet Med Style. And we have a very special guest today. Her name is Tina Hansen. She is a fifth-year vet student currently living in Poland, but she is still figuring out the time to travel whilst in the middle of her busy veterinary educational career. So we think that's really cool. We wanted to talk about it to learn a bit about her, but also help to encourage other vet students to travel and figure out how she does it, because it's very impressive. So yeah, hi Tina, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
So good. Thank you so much for joining us.
I've been wanting to do this for so long now.
Same,
We
us
can't
too.
wait.
Right, the stars have finally aligned on all of our schedules, and we
Can you
finally
see
figured it
my
out.
sweater? Can you see my sweater?
Oh, we love it.
Yay!
I love
She's wearing one of our hoodies. Is it cozy? Like, be real. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's
Okay,
so worn out now. Like I've washed it probably 1,000 times.
I know. One of the shirts that I have from there, oh my God, I wear it all the time and it's like faded. It's like, girl, chill out.
I
So
know,
I
I
feel
love
you.
Exactly.
I'm glad you like it.
Because when I travel, like people might see it. So like I feel like the chances of bumping into someone being like, oh shit, are you a vet too? Like, oh my God, are you traveling as well? Like,
Yeah,
it's so cool because I feel
that.
like we're like a community anyway. So it's kind of like,
Totally.
it increases the odds to bump into someone. It really literally
Yes.
says travel vet med style.
Literally, yeah.
Yes.
It tells you exactly what you're up to. I love it.
I am what
love
I
it.
say on the tin.
Right? I know it. I know. Okay, well, just to start off, in case anybody doesn't know who you are, can you just give us a brief introduction about you, where you're from, where you're going to school, just like the basics?
Yes. So I come from Norway, lived there my whole life until I moved to Poland about 5 years ago. And then I started studying veterinary medicine in Wrocław in Poland, Wrocław, whatever.
Oh, nice.
I know.
So cool.
In English division, if for anyone wondering, I always get that question. I don't speak Polish yet. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting as well because I never even would think about that.
Yeah.
So
same.
there's like lots of international universities that teach veterinary programs in English.
Exactly. And that's kind of one of the reasons I started my TikToks as well, because, I think a lot of people just like, in most countries, in their own countries, is really hard to get into. But
Yeah.
there are so many countries in like Central Europe where it's so much easier to get in to vet school, and people know about it. And it's an English division, and it is accredited school, so you can work anywhere in Europe. So yeah.
Wow,
so
it's
cool.
amazing. Yeah, I never would have even thought about that. And I mean, I guess it is common. A lot of people study abroad, but I just never would have thought about it for a veterinary degree. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
What is it that made you choose Poland for vet school?
Well, so I started to look into countries, like America, like I don't know, Australia, England, the Royal Veterinary College. But I figured that all of these schools are so expensive, and they're all so hard to get into as well. Like the process is just horrible. And then in Norway, we had like I think at the time with like 50 spots a year in one school.
Whoa.
And they only look at the grades, like only the grades. Nothing
Oh my
else.
gosh. Yeah.
And I didn't really want to, like, I wanted to get out and like see things, and it honestly changed my entire life. So I started to look at where I could actually study, and then I actually did have a couple friends that was studying in Poland, and they told me, I remember I was driving her home from a night out or something when we were home, because we were friends from the stable, so we knew each other. So she just told me, like, Tina, you need to go there. Like, if you want to go, you should go there. Like, it's cheap, it's great education, everything's in English, it's a great city, it's so cheap to live in Poland. And she told me all these great things, and she was right about everything. Amazing. So yeah, I'm very happy with my choice, honestly. So I was looking at a few different countries, but honestly, I couldn't have picked a better place. I'm really happy that I ended up here.
Oh, that's so
cool.
good.
Yeah, that's a good tidbit too for any future vet students that are listening, to know that like you can explore a little bit off the beaten path to what maybe your friends are doing or what you've been exposed to in the past. And you can still find a really good opportunity out there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm sorry. A little bit messy actually. I broke my front screen, so
oh my gosh. Yeah, no worries. I did that too. That's why my previous phone bit the dust. I broke my front screen too not too long ago.
Oh no.
Totally happens. Yeah, I finally got a new phone, but yeah, so no worry. I can't really tell. Can you tell, Lucy?
No, I can't tell.
Yeah, no worries.
I feel like
No
that's
worries.
double.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no, I can tell now.
Yeah, maybe it's tiny, but like it's fine. Yeah. So this is so casual.
I know.
Right? Oh. Well, so we know you're a fifth year vet student, right? Okay.
Yes.
So I think something that people would be really interested in learning is how you find the time to travel in vet school, because it looks like most of your adventures have been while you are enrolled in vet school. So can you kind of give us some information on how you find the time for these adventures?
Yeah, I think actually that's one of my most asked questions on my Instagram as well. You know, like traveling vets. Of course, everyone asks like, but how do you do it? How do you fund it? How do you have time for it? All these things. So actually, I think I wrote like 2 blogs about it as well. If anyone wants to check out my blog about like how to money, how to find time, those kind of things. But to say it briefly, basically, you know, Norwegians do get a scholarship from the government, so you know we have enough to survive and a little bit more. And you know, if you live cheap like I do, like I live in a dormitory. If you try to save money, you know, that's so you have a little bit of extra, or maybe you work. So usually I go work in the summer, like 1 or 2 months, and in Norway you make quite a bit of money. So I use those money basically to travel in any holiday that I have. So in our university, well, our teachers are really like easygoing. So we can, you know, email them and say, can we have this test then? Can we have our classes earlier so we can finish earlier? Or can we move our classes so we can have a longer holiday? Because we need to travel all the way home, right? So they're really flexible with us. So usually we push it. So we have like 2 weeks of Christmas. We have 3 months of summer vacation, and we have 2 weeks of semester break. And then a few days also now in the spring for like Easter and stuff like that. So we usually have quite a bit of, you know, time in between. So that's usually when I do my travels.
Nice.
I think my first
So
travel like kind of alone was right before vet school when I had a gap year. I was working, so I made up some money, and then I went on my first volunteering trip to Namibia, and I was working with wildlife for 5 weeks. And then later that summer as well, I went with my friend and we just traveled all around Asia. And honestly, I miss it so much. So I'm so jealous, Amber, that you're just like living your best life.
Oh my God. I love, Southeast Asia is amazing. It's truly one of a kind. Lucy may be coming soon, so we're very excited about that.
Yeah,
Really?
we'll see.
We'll see. Again, if all the stars align, then she'll be here. No matter what, she's going to come visit soon. We just don't know when.
I will. Yeah, at some point I will be there.
Yes, no matter what. So that's cool. So then like every break that you have, you basically spend it traveling, it seems like.
Yeah, and I like to combine it with like veterinary experiences, because I live and burn for this, you know, like I'm really passionate. So I prefer to use my vacations on, you know, learning, seeing other things, being around animals or veterinarians, and meeting and connecting, making connections and make friends and
Yes. Oh,
that's why we're all here. It's the best lifestyle ever.
100%. You meet so many like-minded people, even if it's just being in the space online. Like you meet so many incredible people that have similar interests. It's awesome.
Little veterinary community that we have on like Instagram and online and stuff is like so nice, and I love it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it so much.
Yeah, same. Honestly, I've connected with so many people like by online, because people always ask, you know, like, but how do you know so many people? Well, I send out like emails almost every week. I have my platform. I show what I do. You know, people write to me. So like people suggest things to me, or people literally ask me like, do you need a job? Like, wait, I'm still a student.
Right. You're like, get back to me in like a year and then I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It's so true.
What was it that initially sparked your like interest in traveling and making it a part of your life? Was there like an initial trip, or did you always know you liked it?
Yeah, so I think I would have to tell 2 stories, because I feel like one was the start.
We love a story.
Yeah, exactly. One
right.
was like part of like the interest, and then the second one was solo travel, when I really figured that I could do anything. So my first one was my first trip to Namibia right before I started vet school, where I was at this volunteer place and I was working with wildlife, and I love the surroundings. I love the country. I love the animals, the wildlife, the people, and how we're working together and all these things. And I just like I kind of like, wow, there's so many things out there. You know, I barely left my country before that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, I need to do more of this. And then I started a second trip with my friend around Asia, before the summer before we started vet school. And then I think right after I started vet school, you know, it was a little bit boring in the beginning because everyone was stressed about school. Nobody really wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do something.
Yeah.
And then,
Like, can we use these breaks for something really meaningful, you guys? Let's do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that was when I did my first solo trip, because I realized if I'm going to wait for someone to come with me, I'm going to wait forever.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And it's so freaking true. Don't
And
wait
it's-
on your friends or anybody to be able to go with you. If you want to do it, just do it.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's scary the first time, like at least like the first couple of years, I was like, every time on a bus or a flight on the way to somewhere crazy where I bought the ticket like the night before, I was always like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I
Yeah. You're like, oh, I have to go. I have to do
do?
this.
And then when you get there in the hostel or whatever, and you make so many friends in like the first
Yeah.
5, like, okay, this got me fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we always talk about this, but like solo travel is the best because you do make so many more friends. Because if you go with someone, you're not gonna talk to anyone else.
Exactly.
But like that's when you meet the best friends in a hostel, like because
Yeah.
everyone there. Same
So
thing.
true.
I love hostels so much.
Same.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, and yeah, solo travel, it definitely, I try to look back on how I felt before I booked my very first solo experience. And of course, you're nervous, you have no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
It seems so far-fetched, but then the second you step foot in your end location, like it's fine. Like maybe there's a couple challenges along the way, but that's what makes it actually kind of fun, you know? And yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
The
So
stories.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, you leave with so many hilarious stories of just you trying to maneuver a different part of the world by yourself. But it's always such
Exactly.
a good experience.
And I feel like that's when it started for me as well. Like I just went alone and I was like on the bus and the way that was like, oh my God, what did I do? It's like a national holiday. What if everything's closed, you know, like because a lot of the shops are closed. And I was like, oh my God, what if I don't find anywhere to like sleep? Because
Yeah.
I just like the night before I just found this ticket for like, I don't know, €1 or something. Like it's super cheap to travel around Poland. So it was like it costed me nothing. And then I was like,
Yeah.
and I didn't really know what to do, but I heard about some friends told me about this app like Hostel World. So started scrolling through, looking to the atmosphere and stuff, and then I found this one place, and then basically everything went so smooth from there. They were like, "Oh, you should go here and there and there," and then we just figured it all out and made so many friends, like crazy. Like I don't think I have many friends in that short amount of time, and like I still talk
Yeah.
with, you know, I visited a lot of the stuff like that, so it's really really cool. And yeah, and it went all right. And after that I feel like I kind of like was like, okay, you know, I don't need to wait for someone, I can just go alone. You will
Totally.
make friends.
Mhm.
It's so true. That's so true. And especially when you're volunteering, when you're traveling, like you going by yourself, actually, I don't know, I feel like you get more out of the experience, whether it's meeting new people or soaking in all the knowledge, you know, it's, and you also don't feel so alone because you're working amongst other veterinary professionals. And yeah, I think it just truly like enhances your experience, especially in the veterinary setting.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
It's amazing. Well, taking it back to kind of the veterinary side of volunteering and traveling, since you are a vet student, are there any limitations to what you're able to do? And like, what kind of veterinary skills are you able to practice whenever you do step foot into another clinic?
Yeah, I think this was a really good question. Nobody ever actually asked me that.
Hey.
So it depends on your level of expertise, what you're comfortable of doing and what you've done before. So when you start maybe volunteering, maybe you know you will do typical things like, you know, just observing their behavior, maybe like make sure they get stimulated enough, like
Sure.
it would make or something, and you clean a lot, and you know you do those kind of things instead. But then once you start getting into vet school, you know, you start to get to do more because you're a student. And then maybe if you search more veterinary related projects as well, then you get to do a lot more, you know. So
Yeah.
it really depends where you go, because like it's very varied what they would let you do, but they
Totally.
they will, you know, they won't give you all the responsibility for something, but if they see that you do well, you know your stuff, you know, when you maybe have someone to help you, they would actually let you do quite a bit. So, you know, like injections, IM, subcut, maybe even IV and catheters. I've done actually a couple of castrations on tomcats.
Nice.
It's a really great with, because it's quite easy, honestly. And if you have someone to like do it, then it is actually pretty. And also maybe like some sutures. I haven't like had my own clients or anything, but you know, I've been watching a lot of consults, scrubbing into surgeries, those kind of things. So definitely watching a lot, but I think that's good too, because the more you see, the more you feel ready to actually start doing something, you know?
Totally. 100%.
Because is it in the 5th year of vet school where they take a lot of 5th year vet students on like the WVS programs, or have I made that up?
No, I think that's accurate, because I know it's when that's your final year of vet school, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, no, totally. I mean, there's so many programs out there that they allow final year vet students to go practice their surgical skills, hands-on skills. And then there's also like training programs to like train vet students into following through with their program and stuff. So yeah, like that's what I mean, I know I'm not a veterinarian and I've never gone through vet school, but like when I hear people say that there aren't any opportunities, I haven't graduated yet, I'm like, that's not true.
That's true.
There's so much that you can do. And
I think it's also too, like, as long as you're open and honest with what you feel comfortable with and what your experience is going into it, then nobody's on a different page. You can feel confident in what you have to offer. So like, I think it's kind of the same as any other situation. Us going into it as vet nurses too, we're very open and honest. These are the skills I'm comfortable with. This is my level of education and I'm here. What do you want me to do? You know?
It's so true.
Do you think that you get like, I don't know how to put it. Do you think it sets you ahead of like your classmates, these experiences that you have, like in terms of hands-on skills and things like that?
I already see it. We have like a few people who's, you know, every time they're home or every break they go do something. And then we have a few people you just want their degree. And honestly, like, in class, you can see it, like people who's out there, they working in clinic, they always know all these things we haven't even learned yet. And they know how animals, like, especially like animal handling. I feel like there's some people who just like, especially some types of species, like me and cows, like I haven't handled that much cows before, but you know, like you get a little bit of everything. So you're better at also like handling the animals, because some people maybe didn't grow up with animals, or so they don't even know how to hold them, you know? So like, even like stuff, like any experience is better than nothing. So
true.
Definitely makes a difference, I'd say.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's amazing. Well, it's nice to know that you don't have to wait till you graduated. There's so many opportunities out there, and there's also a lot that you can do. Because I was curious of like, not even the legality of it, but just like, you know, what are you allowed to do as a vet student? I wasn't quite sure. So that's super helpful for everybody.
And then obviously you really like your solo traveling like us. What are your like favorite aspects of solo travel that you like?
Yes. So since I started, even I realized that, you know, I can go whenever I want, wherever I want. And it's just the freedom of not having to plan for someone else. Like, I feel like every time you're with someone, like everything takes like 3 times the amount of time just to plan things, schedule things, and you have to discuss and you never agree. And it's just like, it's so much work, honestly. And I the freedom, you know, of just like, okay, I just passed my exam. I was 1 out of 5 people that actually passed their exam on the first try. So everyone's gonna hear for another, and I'm gonna book my flight ticket to Hawaii. So you know,
love that.
Like the day after I buy the ticket, I'm on my way. So it's just like I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. So it's definitely one of my favorite aspects of traveling alone. And then also like when you get there, you know, I feel like you get really like the most out of your experience, because you don't have to discuss with your friend, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Is this hostel all right? Should we do a hotel? You know, like you can just choose everything, you know? And then there you're just like, okay, I want to see the waterfall, I want to dive, and I want to, you know, go see a sanctuary or something. And then you discuss with them. Even like if you're in a hostel, you can just be like, oh hey, and then you meet people, and then you're kind of like, I want to go do this, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to do that too, and then you're just like, okay, so one day I'll be with this person, another day I'll be with that person, so you're still never alone, but you just find people do the same thing.
Exactly.
So true.
I always think this as well, that when I've like gone on little city breaks, like saying like Paris or Lyon or something in France, and I have stayed in a hostel, I've met people, I've gone with a day with like no plans, but I've met people in the hostel, and then that's like the best thing, because you wouldn't, like, I wouldn't have gone to this place if I hadn't have met this person in this hostel. I wouldn't have even spoken to them if I'd have gone with someone else. And like, that's how you get the best adventures and the best stories, because
I know.
you just go with the wind. You don't make a plan. You just say yes.
And
go
there's also
somewhere random.
other people know a lot, like maybe they've been there for a couple of weeks, and they're like, oh, you should definitely see this one, but don't do this one because it's a long line and it's not as good as they say, or it's expensive, or like you can also ask them for tips and advice as well. So like just win-win situation. Honestly.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, even something I don't think people realize how important it is in the aspect of you saying how you get to like literally handcraft your experience, because you could just be walking down the road one day, just exploring the city, and you see, an interesting cafe or like an interesting whatever that you want to go check out, and you can just do it. Like, you don't have to be on anyone else's schedule. And I feel like it's really hard to find like a compatible travel buddy that wants to do all the same things that you're doing. That's not super likely. So like this is it, it's still fun to travel with your besties, but sometimes a solo experience is just like the best option. If you really want to get the most out of a location, especially if you want to find a way to add animals into your, adventures as well. Like, you can just do exactly what you want to do, and it's amazing.
Exactly. And I don't know, I feel like you just get so much like more out of it. I don't know. It's
so true. So true.
One thing though that is important that I would like to say too, because a lot of people say, but but I'm not as outgoing as you are. I'm not as, comfortable with other people. I'm not as sparkly or butterfly like you are. Like,
I love that, sparkly.
Yes. Butterfly. I don't know.
We get it.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm not tough like you. I'm not a social butterfly. But when I started traveling, I wasn't either. I was really shy. I had my same friends my entire life. I didn't really like to talk to new people. I wasn't even in this positive mindset that I am in now. Like, I would say I was a person before I started traveling. So like, if that's someone's excuse that they can't go because they're not so sociable, or they're more shy or something, that's going to change once you get out of your comfort zone, travel alone, because you have to. And you just develop these social skills, so it's easier to make friends as well. So it's something that will come. So,
and also, you don't have to be that person in the hostel that is going up to people. No. You can be the one that people go up to.
Yes, so true. And like, coming from on the other side of things, I'm like chronically introverted, and I've definitely come out of my shell with traveling, like you've explained, 100%, but I'm still the same introverted person I've always been. But I am still like, I still thoroughly enjoy traveling, and you still find different times that you want to come out of your shell, different people that you want to talk to and stuff. So I think people would really be surprised how much traveling can fit an introverted lifestyle as well. Because again, especially solo travel, one day you could hang out with people, and then you could decide, I've had enough people. I'm going to spend the next few days alone, and then you can go hop around the city alone, so there's a lot of different, you could truly enjoy the experience no matter how social you are.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love that. You and Lucy, I think you guys would be like the perfect travel buddies, like bopping around and talking, making a million friends. I'd be like waiting at home reading a book. Okay, I'll see you guys when you get back.
I love it.
We'll have to travel together. So I think it'd be really, really cool.
Would love it.
Oh yeah, and you're in Europe as well. So when you're qualified, you and I, we're a pair in Europe. We are going to do all the nutrition programs together. We can just travel as like, don't worry, you don't need anything. You just need the facilities. We'll come and neuter all your animals.
Literally.
Love that.
I'll do the GAs.
I have my private courses now, so it's fine.
Right? Love that for you guys. That would be amazing. Spain Academy, Spain, here we come.
Yes.
That'd be amazing. Well, okay. So speaking on volunteer experiences and all the different places that you've gotten to see, do you think that you have a favorite volunteer experience that you've participated in?
This is such a
Yeah,
hard
that's
question.
really hard to answer.
Yeah, you've gone a lot of really cool places.
A lot of cool, like every experience was different. It's hard to like put them all in the same category because some were like family, some were friends, some were shadowing, some were actual work, some was volunteering, and some paid volunteering. So all very different experiences. I think one of my favorites is definitely when I went to Zimbabwe last year in February, because I was
amazing.
one more vet and then it was a couple more other students. So she would like just Gemma Compling. Do you know Gemma? She's the founder.
Lucy, you know her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, such a small world.
I know. We don't. I think it's just I know her through Instagram. Do you know her in person?
Yeah, I know her through Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we do. She's awesome.
Because it was funny because I became an ambassador of VetX, Mkonja Big Five in South Africa, this wildlife capture and care course. And then I was, it was actually like in the middle of the pandemic. I was just studying. I was really bored. I was at home in Norway, and my mom just sent me this link of like this place in Zimbabwe that needed horse people to like. They needed someone to live there and like take care of the horses. So I was like, oh my god, I want to do. And I didn't get the position because I was studying and everything, so I didn't really have the time. But then I asked if I could come just volunteer, because I was scrolling through the list of like, because Gemma was the one who answered me, and then I scrolled through the list of like the employees of the Worldwide Vets, and then I saw Hein, which is like the one who has the VetX project, and I was like, oh my god, I know that guy. And then I scroll a bit more, and then Tony, a guy that I played polocrosse with in Zimbabwe last time I was there, was also on that list.
What? That's so funny.
The world,
that's so
it's such
funny.
a small world.
It's crazy. So yeah, so I just decided to go there, and then basically it was me and one more vet, and she would like put me in the SPCA, and she would teach me how to do rectal examinations and intubation of horses and everything. Like I just said, I want to do this, and then she would show me how to do it. So it was a really good experience, especially for a COVID kid who, had my vet school in the middle of COVID, and I didn't get any practice experience for like 2 years.
So true.
Needed. I would also really say I love the experience in South Africa that I was in September. But it's not really volunteering, it was more like a course, but it was very, very fun.
Still, that's really cool. Oh, that's where you were like in a
cool.
helicopter and like guarding animals and stuff. I was like, what is happening?
Insane.
It was
so
insane.
good.
It was just
Wild.
insane. Like, but the best part is that everything
It sounded like something vomited.
Yeah, it did. I thought, oh my god, is she vomiting?
No, you need to cut this out.
I was like, are you okay?
I thought, well, it's not Tina because I can see her on the camera. Is it a dog going vomiting?
You have to play this back in the actual time of the podcast, and then we'll see.
Right. That's so funny. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. And the best part is that I brought a cameraman, so we got the whole thing on tape. We had GoPros. He was running around with a camera, so we got everything on tape. So it's in production right now. We got the trailer and the first episode ready, and then we're gonna make a little series and put it on YouTube or something.
That's
so good.
So cool.
I'm really excited to show everyone because we learned so much, and we had so many cool experiences. And we were darting from a helicopter. We were sitting in the back of a truck driving off road in like 60 kilometers an hour, following a helicopter, being like, okay, it's especially like net gunning, and they'll be like, okay, it's down, oh, go. It's so much adrenaline. It's like an action show. Like it's so cool. So I'm really excited for that to come out because I think it's gonna be like really well as educational, and like we met so many cool people as well that would like tell more about like trophy hunting and like explain what it actually is. Like I learned so much about conservation in this trip as well. And we just like one guy he was 20 years old, and he was in the rhino anti-poaching unit. All these crazy stories that how Navy SEAL soldiers didn't even make the test to become an anti-poaching soldier. Like it was really hard to become one. And he told some crazy stories as well. Like it was just like, wow. So we got a lot of cool experiences, and we got to interview a few people, and very educational.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to
so
see
cool.
that. I think so many people
Right?
want that too, because how many people out there actually understand the dynamics of that and have ever experienced anything similar? I'm sure there's very few. So I think so many people will be super interested to watch that. That's awesome.
I think too, I actually just finished Evan Anton's book, the
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Is it
Worldwide.
good?
Yeah, so it was like his own experiences about like all of his travels and so on. So it was not like super specific like vet, but it was more like, I don't know, showing his love for wildlife and those kind of things. And yeah, I must say he's a bit crazy.
I've gotten that impression from some of the stuff. I'm like, dang, he really goes for it. Like,
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Grabs any animal at any time and just like venomous snakes and everything, just going for it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, you have to be like a special breed of person to be interested in like really like working with wildlife, like devoted, like Joey that we had on here.
Yeah.
He'll like pick up a snake in the jungle and be like, I'm like, it scares me.
I know.
Scares me.
Really?
I think it's so impressive though. That's really cool. It sounds like you learned so much too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I finished his book too, and I started to look at his YouTube channel as well. And he does have like a few like shorter videos of like his snake encounters and some like animal experience. And but then I kind of feel like there is actually not that many like videos like that out there. Like not that many people are like handling animals, telling about conservation, telling about different animals. And I feel like if it would be that interesting that, you know, anyone could watch it, I feel like we would get more people interested in conservation as well. And I think nothing is more than that. So I feel like I have an important message with the whole series as well, because if I can get vet students interested because it's, you know, interesting, and I will tell a little bit about things as well, like how medicine and stuff works. And then it would also be really exciting because there's animals in movement. We know our case got bit by a shark, you know, by someone fell off a horse. I'm not gonna say who, but you'll find out.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And that'll be so cool too, because like I feel like a lot of people could easily find content of somebody doing conservation work that like knows the ins and outs of it. They're really skilled, but it would be a cool dynamic to watch somebody as they're learning the process.
Yes.
You don't often where it's like we're learning right along with you, you know, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I was, you know, in the beginning, people tell me, you know, like, you're not a vet. And I was like, no, I know, but like, I still learn. So, you know, just have to be sure that my info is correct before I, you know, say it.
And I will be soon. This is why I'm doing this. I'm gaining knowledge and experience. What is your point?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's
Well, not just the final product, you know, because you see, especially because you see all the vets on the TV shows, you know, but you never see a student. And it's kind of like, it seems so reachable when it's like, okay, but that they're old, you know, like so far from me.
It's like, oh, I can't, it's so far away.
And 14 years old, you know, I feel like they would relate more if it was like a student and they would be like, oh my God, this is really cool. I think I want to do this, you know? So I feel like it's more like for younger people.
Encourage people into the profession as well, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
literally.
and the vet student, you in the video, will be asking the questions that other people are thinking while they're watching it, you know, because like somebody who's seasoned in it may not be asking all the questions that we're randomly thinking while you're traveling down the road, you know, so that'll be cool too.
It's like, I know vets, they know so much, so they, you know, it's kind of like my horse riding. If I want to teach someone how to ride, I'm not very good at it because I don't remember what it's like to not be able to ride. But right now I'm a student, so now I know what's like early on student or like before pre-vet, how their mind is thinking. So it's easier for me to explain things in an easy way that everyone can understand it, I feel like, than a vet who's been on it for years and years, and you know, they have so much info, but it's just, it comes out maybe either too complicated or too short, or I don't know. So I think
that's true. So true. Yeah, that's gonna be so amazing. I can't wait to see that.
Same. It's so cool.
So cool.
So just to sum up, Tina, where has your veterinary traveling adventure taken you so far? Name all of the countries. Give us a list.
Oh, a list of countries. All right. So only veterinary or animal related stuff, right?
Well, I mean, you could throw in some things.
Tell us all of it.
Sprinkle it in there. Sprinkle it in.
All right, so I worked with board certified vets and clinic owners in Washington, so Seattle and Bellingham. I actually worked with a shark reef in Las Vegas with the shark vet. He's also board
Whoa.
certified.
How random.
my
I
God.
taken me so many random places. I swear to God. So I basically saw him. I think masturbating a shark.
I was like, where are we? I wasn't sure we were talking
Yeah.
about the male vet. I was like, where are we going?
So and
Oh.
then yeah, I think that's all I have in the States for now, as I can think of. And then
That's cooler than anything I've ever done. And I was born there. So
really?
yeah, I was born in the States. Yeah, I'm from USA, but yeah, I've never done anything cool like that. So that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. And well, all over Europe, basically, like I've traveled to a lot of nearby countries. I've been in Spain and Croatia a couple times, and I'm in Poland and then Norway, and I worked in Sweden last summer. So I've been quite a bit of places in Europe as well. And then Africa I was volunteering in Namibia. It was my first trip, and then I went twice to Zimbabwe, first with horses and elephants and lions, and then second time for the volunteering that I told you about with Gemma. And then which is the founder of the World Wide Vets. That's also really cool because she made the whole concept and the whole website, and it's something I'm very interested in. So I want to be inside all these people, And then in South Africa, December as well, when I did the capture and care course for 3 weeks.
Nice.
And so that's the country. Oh yeah, in Egypt this
I was
Christmas.
like, you just went to Egypt.
Yeah, I went to Egypt. So I was working at an equine aid in Cairo. So yeah, I got to see pyramids, got to work with the equids and some camels, dromedary camels.
I'd love to see that.
And a bird and some different animals. It was really cool. And then I think the thing that started my whole social media thing was when I went to Australia. So I went to work with Dr. Alex Hines and Gerardo Poli.
Yeah,
yes,
amazing.
Yeah, so Alex Hines, you maybe know from Bondi Vet, Coast to Coast.
Yes.
On the Gold Coast. so yeah, I went to New South Wales visiting some friends, and I went up there to shadow her and Gerardo. And I was working with Dr. Brooke.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. I don't know any of these people, but yeah, just from Instagram, they're amazing.
Yeah. Exactly. So like, I might be in the background of some of their videos and stuff like that, but
cool.
I was there for a couple of weeks. Definitely going back to Australia soon. I have so many more vets I need to meet and shadow, and it's such a beautiful place. And in Asia, I didn't really do much veterinary stuff in Asia, but I was volunteering with elephants in Thailand.
Cool. Where at?
It was at Friends Foundation Thailand. It was close to Hua Hin.
Yeah, amazing. I hear wonderful things about them. That's awesome.
Yeah. Apparently you can work with the veterinarian there as well. I didn't at the time because that was before I started vet school, and I didn't know.
Well, I think they just started doing it. I think because I got an email from them not too long ago, that they finally have solidified like their veterinary program to where now you can have like lodging there and everything. So hopefully they start to do a lot going forward. They seem great.
It's actually, I did meet a friend there that was working with the vet. So I think there was a few there now, but back then 5 years ago, but maybe now it's more solid project.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. I still have to see South America and Antarctica. I think that's the only 2 continents I haven't been on yet.
Wow, that's amazing.
I would love to go to South America. Amber's already done it, and it makes me jealous. I was so jealous when she was there.
Just Ecuador, yeah, but it was amazing. Yeah, loved it so much. How cool though. You're like, you haven't even graduated from vet school, and you've had more experiences than most vets would have in their entire career. Like that's true though. There's so many. That's true. Yeah, I mean that haven't really traveled or just occasionally take a trip, but like wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to say, recently I just went to England and I met up with the people at the Royal Veterinary College, and also I went up to Leeds and I worked at a veterinary clinic there as well.
I'm sorry, you went to Leeds and you didn't come see me, Tina?
Wait, what? Do you live in Leeds?
She works.
I don't live in Leeds, but I live very near Leeds.
Seriously? But
Yeah.
I think you were gone when I was there, because I was only there for a week, and I think you were in like some snowy place. Was it not Finland?
Lapland.
Oh, was I in Lapland? Oh, okay, I'll let you off then.
Some snowy place. That's the best description for Lapland.
This is no place.
Snowy place.
Because I remember thinking like, I think she lives in England somewhere. Maybe I should text, but then I saw like, no, she's not in England right now. So
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
That's so
next
funny.
time.
Oh, did you have fun?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing, because I'm thinking about what to do after my vet school degree as well. So I'm thinking about doing an internship, and I might end up in Leeds. I'm not sure.
Nice.
Yeah, Leeds is such a good city as well. Like, it's so good.
It was actually pretty good, yeah.
I am always team north over team south of England. So
Yeah,
the
great.
people are just friendlier. It's less expensive. It's
Yeah.
nice.
It's prettier, and I went up to Yorkshire as well.
Yeah.
And just people were so nice and so cute. It's kind of like you see on TV with the cute little houses and stuff. I don't know. It's really, really nice. I liked it.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Aw.
I love that. That's another thing too, is like, you don't even know who you're going to connect with when you travel. Like, just describing all the people that you've met, like people who we've seen on Instagram and stuff. And you're just like, let me, reach out, and then I'll do like, an internship or like a study program with them. Let's do it. Like, that's so freaking cool.
I actually, when I went to Australia, I didn't have any followers. I had like 500 followers or something, and that was just my friends. And then I just texted Alex Hines, because she wrote something like, "Oh, I need someone to help me with like a project. Just ask and talk with them and stuff." And I was like, "I volunteer," So, wow, Alex Hines,
cool.
damn.
Yeah.
I envy that woman so much. She's so kind, and she's so like good with everything, and she just like, she explains really well. She was so good with clients, and then she at Success Academy, which I'm now an ambassador of, and it's helping so much, because they help you along the entire way of vet school as well. So I got a lot out of all of my travels. I got experience. I've become an ambassador of like several different things and opportunities that I wouldn't have gotten if I didn't leave my country.
Yeah.
I 100% I agree in that standpoint. It's like, obviously the main reason that you should do this is for just the experience and the way that it can, you could really gain some impressive knowledge, things that you just wouldn't have learned elsewhere. But it can be a wonderful way to catapult your career, especially if you want to make traveling or working internationally part of your future long-term, like business wise, and for your resume, even just like, there's some incredible things that you can do, incredible people that you can meet that can really help you excel in this realm.
But one thing that is funny though, I don't know if this happened to you, but lately I've been applying for a lot of jobs and stuff, and they're always like, they're going through my resume and they're like, "Well, I've seen your resume. Why do you want to work here?" Like, they're knocking themselves down. Like, I've seen all the things you've done. This is a little place, right? Or like, this isn't that fancy. There's no crocodiles here.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's really funny.
So funny.
I didn't think overqualified would be a thing, but I think maybe they think that, you don't want to stay, or you're going to find it boring and leave or something. I don't know.
Sure.
So,
Right. You're like, I want to see all the places. Like, no worries.
Exactly.
But I get what you're saying too. I had this issue back home, but it was super valid, that anytime I would come back for a certain period, my boss would be hesitant to be like, "Well, I don't know if I'm gonna put you on the schedule, because how long are you actually gonna be here? Like, let's just do relief. Let's do relief." I was like, "Yeah, cool." So it comes with its cons, I guess. The nomadic lifestyle for sure, but still overall better than not.
I thought it was mostly positive until I got those comments. I think I gotten in a couple of different job interviews where they've seen my resume and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, why do you want to work here?"
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That makes sense. So I never would have thought about that. Hey, overall though, I think it opens up more doors than it closes, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I feel like now, since I can say that I have all this experience, it's so much easier to get anywhere, to get an opportunity to become an ambassador, to get discounts, all these things.
Yeah.
Like, it's easier, and it's also easier to get jobs and internships, I feel like, because they're like, okay, she got experience, she's passionate,
Yeah.
Someone who's
you
really
stand out in your resume too. Like, that's something that people are going to remember, like, over somebody who's, there's nothing wrong with it if you just have been in the same town that you went to college and everything, but you will automatically stand out more than the colleague that you're up against, because it's memorable.
It is different when it's like half of it is like, oh, volunteering in Africa, volunteering in Thailand, like working with the famous vets here and working with board certified vets there. It's
definitely
difference, honestly.
It's amazing. That's so cool. I mean, honestly, I'm blown away by everything that you've managed to do while still in vet school. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
what you do once you graduate and where your career goes. It's going to be amazing.
Me either.
Yeah, you're like, I have no idea what's going to happen.
I'll be like, where's Tina gonna be this
I
week?
know,
Which
right?
continent?
I know. How freaking cool.
Tweeting every week.
You should, especially like as a veterinarian, like
Yeah.
in the times that, you know, when we're applying to volunteer in different locations, vet nurses and vet techs are like, yeah, we have a volunteer position, but if you're a vet though, you can come here. We'll pay you to come here, you know.
Yeah.
So you can find a lot of, like, as a veterinarian, there's a lot more paid opportunities for you traveling internationally. Like, I think you've probably already seen, but if you start really exploring, there's so many opportunities because so many people are just desperate to have a vet there with them.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering to you though, actually, like how are you finding all these opportunities? Because I saw your newsletter and it was really interesting, and actually pinned down some things too, and I might actually go there. I just wonder do you just reach out to some random places, or how do you find it actually?
Yeah, I either message places directly and see if they have any volunteer opportunities for people that they'd like me to showcase, or I post something in the veterinary volunteering Facebook group about my newsletter, and people will comment on the thread with vacancies that they want me to advertise. So it's kind of like a job forum almost. So yeah.
Oh, do you actually get paid from them then?
Oh no, girl, no.
I don't get
wish. No, not yet. But honestly, yeah, it's okay. The only reason I could do what I do is because, you know, I work full-time remotely, so it's okay. But yeah, no, it's really cool way to connect people with those vacancies, because I remember it's when you know where to look, it's not hard. But if you haven't yet learned where to look, it's nice to have it all in one place, you know?
Yes, exactly. Makes it a lot easier. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm also not sure what to do when I finish, because there's so many opportunities and possibilities. So it's kind of, it's kind of hard. You know, I'm gonna have to start looking for places that actually I get paid, because my scholarship is not a thing anymore. So
Yeah, for sure.
I have to start down the loan. So
Oh, true. That's, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you will like be shocked at, I think I've seen a lot of different opportunities, especially even in like developed countries too, that maybe aren't your home country, but are still new and exciting for you, that are offering positions for veterinarians. So I think you probably will have plentiful opportunities. And then maybe once you get caught up on loans and stuff, then you can start like branching out and doing these like long-term cool positions and areas that need more help, you know?
And also, honestly, when I've started to go to different places as well, I realized, you know, not always the most fancy things are the best ones necessarily.
Totally.
No, it can be, you know, the Prince's Stable, or it can be, you know, I don't know, the Royal Veterinary College or something, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's like right for you, or that it is as good as it sounds. I mean, it looks good on the resume, but what does that really matter in the end? Like,
oh, no. It doesn't. Yeah, not really.
Oh, actually, a good expression for this. Doing something just for the resume is like saving sex for old age or something.
There you go. I love that.
There we go.
It's true. That's the truth, man. Oh my God. No, I love that though, because like everybody tells me this too. Like whenever I travel, I don't want to go to like some fancy location. It's so boring to me. It's so freaking boring. Like I'm always like, no, I would, you know, I had the option of choosing between somewhere in Europe or Cambodia when I first went abroad. And I was like, Cambodia for sure. That sounds so exciting. It's like, you like, I don't know, you almost learn more. You learn more about being resourceful. You meet like an array of different kinds of people. And to me, like you can learn the most from veterinary professionals that are doing everything with limited resources. Like they have
like if you look at,
they get so creative.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Millie.
Oh my God, I know.
In the Gambia.
We're obsessed with her. I know the things that she does every day. I'm like, do you follow her, the Nomad Vet Nurse?
I don't think I do, actually. I'm not.
Your life is about to be changed. Your life's about to change. If you ever want to watch an episode about her, we had her on previously, but yeah, she's a vet nurse. Yeah, who lives in the Gambia. She's been working at the Horse and Donkey Trust for maybe 2 years.
2 years now.
Yeah, she barely has any diagnostic tools. She's like the only nurse. She runs the entire facility at this point. Has to rely on just like volunteer vets coming through, but like were they doing?
Sometimes they don't have vets.
Yeah,
she's like everything,
literally. And they were doing PCVs like from a machine that she has to swirl in her hands to make it go. Like Oh my God, the things that she describes. And they like don't have electricity if it's cloudy because everything's on a solar panel. So like they won't have electric for days. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I feel that. It was kind of like when I was in Egypt now as well. It was a storm.
Yeah.
It's like it was like no water. Like how we're doing veterinary procedures. We need water. You know,
Yeah.
and electricity would be good too because X-rays. You know.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, oh my
the
God.
electricity would be great. Yeah. It's wild.
Was it ACE that you went to? Where was it? What was it called?
It was called Egypt Equine Aid.
I don't think that's the same one.
Oh no, different.
No,
one.
it's founded by an Australian woman actually.
Oh, okay.
Down
Nice.
there. Yeah.
I'd love to go
Egypt
to
is on my
Egypt.
bucket list. Was Cairo like
Me
amazing?
too.
Let's go.
Let's
Oh
go.
my God.
We're
It
in.
just looked like the history. I'm like fascinated with Egyptian history. So like I just can't
Me
even
too.
imagine. I know. I
Ancient
want to go to
Egypt.
Egypt, Lucy.
We'll go.
Okay.
Pretty
Okay.
damn cool. I was going
Oh.
riding along the pyramids because they were owning a stable with like old pyramids around there. So I was just galloping over the big desert with like every Friday they would have like a big race where they would just like run and run with like Arabs, you know. So it was just, like running and then
Oh, I
pyramids.
bet.
Very, very cool.
Oh my God.
And then
that
also-
sounds like beautiful.
And then
Amazing.
they knew a place that actually had a guy who was actually better with his camels because you know a lot of working animals they're kind of always not in the best place because you know they
Sure,
work
yeah.
them all day like too much
Yeah.
So I found this one guy that did not work them too much, so I got to ride around Giza too with a dromedary camel, so it was funny.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
It's very funny camel.
Let's go.
Camel.
Amber.
That sounds like a dream. Honestly, that sounds like a freaking dream. I just can't even
I
imagine.
know.
Can't
was
even
very-
imagine. Wow. Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of your experiences. I mean, I think people are going to be so interested in this. I love that. Well, then one thing we always ask before we end things is, especially for vet students, do you have anything, if somebody listens to this podcast that you would like them to take away from this? I know that's a hard question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You're like, dang it.
So yeah, even if you think you can't do it, if you want it enough, you can, And also, okay, one of my favorite expressions as well that I read in a book when I was little and it's just stick with me is, aim for the moon. Even if you don't hit it, you land among the stars. So
Yeah.
you'll live longer than most people anyways.
I love that. Lucy was like, wow, right up my alley.
I'm inspired.
She loves it. Oh no, that's so true though. Like,
Yeah, I love that.
how terrible if you never tried, how terrible
Yeah.
would that feel?
Exactly.
Awful.
Because like I feel like there's so many things people don't know about. Like vet school is manageable, it is hard, but there is ways to, make it better and easier and finding the right place. And even if your university in your country is hard to get into, there are other countries that are much easier to get into. Like they didn't even check my grades on this university, actually. It was like, there was like an interview basically. And I think they asked me like, what is DNA or something, like really, really easy biology questions, So
Whoa.
I literally said alpha helix and they were like, yeah. And then they
Yeah,
moved
that's
on.
part of it. Yeah.
So it was actually like quite an easy school to get into, and a lot of them are, and some of them have like some tests and stuff to get in, but in general, I pay like, I think my school is like 8,000 euros a year. The schools in the States
Whoa.
are like 30,000 euros a year and something like this. Like it's so expensive, so
Wow.
you're gonna spend your life paying it down. I mean, it's so much.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing is like, especially in the United States, I know veterinarians have the highest debt to income ratio. Like they're literally their entire lives, they're trying to get ahead. It sounds
Exactly.
miserable.
Oh, bad.
So I
So
think
bad.
too.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that the suicide rate is so high among veterinarians, because can you imagine being under that burden of debt that you just feel like is never going to go away? Like
No,
that's terrible.
Horrible.
So to know that there are options when you're first starting out in this career, like as easy or not as easy, as early as vet school, to know that you can make a difference for your future in that
Yeah.
sense, that's amazing.
To be honest, if I can say this about the States, when
Do it.
I
Please,
started,
I love to bash the States.
because when I started, I guess before I started vet school, I was like, okay, I want to end up in the United States. I've been seeing all the movies. It looks amazing. Like this is the place to be.
Yeah.
And then I went there a couple of years later, and it was not what I thought it would be. You know, like I was working with like vet techs and nurses, and like they were like, some of them were living in their cars, you know, like because they couldn't afford a proper place or something. Like they were like really poor, and they worked all the time, and they were all overworked. If you're not, you know, if you don't have your own company, I feel like in the States you're not doing it very well, because such big class differences. You know, so if you are rich, if you have your own company, you live really well. Really well. Then the States is the place to be. But if you're average working class, I saw vets that still counted money when they were going out to a restaurant. You know, I feel like they really had their shit together too. Like really nice house. You know, the kids had moved out, and they were both like you know, they were both in that profession, like was making quite a lot of money, and they still were like counting every penny, and that must be exhausting, you know.
We were having this conversation before the podcast actually about the healthcare system in America, and I mean, I'm gonna say the UK as well has a lot of problems itself. I mean, we're not gonna not bash the UK too, because also
it's like we're bashing it all today.
At least we have free healthcare, because come on,
I know.
Why is America still in the dark ages there?
Literally, I don't think people back home understand that I have zero desire to go back to the United States. Like even my mom has finally accepted, because my mom was like my bestie. We talk all the time, and she's like, do you ever see yourself back? And I was like, honestly, no, I don't want to settle down in the United States, because everything is so uncertain back home. Like at least here I know I can live a fulfilled life, and back home it's just like, I mean, there's obviously ways to do it. People do it all the time, totally, but it's just not worth it to me. The pros don't outweigh the cons anymore. Like especially
I actually say the exact same about Norway, but for different reasons.
Sure, right? And like sometimes you just stray away from your home country, and that's fine. There's opportunities out there, especially in this career. Like literally, there's so many opportunities out there for you.
There is literally, and I must say though, if I could give one country credit, I think Australia, was one of my favorite places in that sense, because everyone was kind of like in a good economic situation. I don't feel like it's not that bad, you know. I feel like even the students were driving a car, like they had their own cars and stuff, and I feel like, I don't know, life in Australia is just easier. So I just travel, because you see how different things work as well. So it's kind of like, where do I want to settle, where do I want to travel, these kind of things. So
yeah, that's true. It's like traveling also offers you the ability to potentially find your country that you will settle down in one day.
Yeah.
You know?
If it will ever happen.
If you want to, if you want to settle down, you can see. So true, man. Well, I feel like we learned so much. I mean, is there anything that you wanted to cover, or do you think that you got it all out there?
Yeah, I feel like most of it, at least. Yeah. Cool. Maybe we'll have that again in a couple of years, and I'll share some new info.
Yeah, love that. We would absolutely.
We'll have to do a 10-hour special, because in 2 years I imagine you'll have gone to a lot of places. But
I know
we'll do it.
So true. It's got to be a multi-part series. We'll hear about all your different jobs since graduating.
Yeah. We'll be like, Tina, you have to cap it to 30 seconds per country. That might make it about 6 hours. Would that be okay?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
So many places to let her go, honestly.
I know. There's so many places, not enough time. I get so stressed about this.
I know. Lucy always has like 10 different opportunities that she's deciding from, you know, like always at any given moment. She's like, I have 5 different job opportunities. I'm like, damn, girl.
Oh, well done.
She's a popular woman up here for sure.
Oh, yeah. Surely. That's impressive.
Like, Stop it. Oh my God. Well, definitely keep us updated on that documentary that you have coming out, because that sounds amazing. I can't wait to watch that.
I will definitely post some videos about it and post it on my story. And yeah, whenever I've created a YouTube channel and started to post it. So excited. It's so cool. I've been watching the first episode, and I think it's really cool. Like I'm like, you know, like really much.
Getting so invested in it.
What's there.
I love that. Oh, that's so cool though. That's going to be fascinating. I'm sure we're all going to have the same.
I feel like we need more of this kind of stuff out there, because I can't really find that much interesting, like well-made wildlife, you know, different people, something like this. So yeah, one of a kind.
That can go for a lot of things too. This can tie into our conversation, is that I feel like a lot of times, me too, I remember when I wanted to travel as a vet tech, I would look for it, but I didn't really find anybody doing it. So I was like, oh, I guess you can't. No, like do it
Yeah.
then. If nobody else is doing it,
Yeah.
then you be the one to do it and
Yeah.
start it off. So that's cool. Yeah, totally. It's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Tina. We've honestly learned so much, and we think that this will be so incredibly helpful for vet students that are wanting to travel or just needing some travel inspiration. And so make sure to follow Tina. What is your Instagram handle?
Traveling vet student in one word, 1L.
Traveling ones. I love that. Thank you for one.
No,
Uh,
wrong.
Right, I know, love that. But yeah, and then also, like she mentioned before, make sure to check out her blogs. I'm assuming there's probably a link on your Instagram bio for that. And
Yeah, I have a link in my bio with all the blogs and newsletter. So I also send out some
Amazing.
newsletter with some different discounts and stuff and different veterinary related products and stuff like that. So.
Love that. That's amazing. Well, cool. Yeah, do all the things, follow her, keep up with her journey, stay tuned for her biography. I'm so sorry. Maybe one day her documentary that's about to come out. Can't wait to read your biography one day too. But otherwise, right. Otherwise, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yay.